change of any kind starts internally within the mind. If you want to alter your life, whether in a big or maybe in a small way, you first have to adapt your mindset. The best way to liberate yourself from old ways of thinking is to shift your perspective on situations and become more innovative in your approaches. If you're ready to change and enhance your life, let's get into today's show. Hey people, how's it going? Welcome back to yet another interesting episode on the Marketing Manifest podcast. Today we have Nischal Jain, who's an angel investor, entrepreneur, and raps in his free time. Going by age is just a number. At 22, he is on the board of 3 companies, has been instrumental in providing guidance to over 20 startups and entrepreneurs. In the last 2 years, he had helped them understand the dynamics of business from a 360-degree angle. Firm believer of learning new things and is on a mission to help people as much as possible. Amicable and unstoppable makes him the most energetic person in the room. Welcome to the show, Nischal. How are you doing?
Hi. Thank you so much. I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. The pandemic has given me a lot of opportunities and all those stuff. And yeah, it helped me start this podcast as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about perspective, right? That's a good way. That's a good approach to take things.
Right. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about the topic mindset in an entrepreneur. So I'm going to start by asking you this question. What is exactly an entrepreneurial mindset? Could you just throw us some light upon that, Nischal?
Yeah. So the entrepreneurial journey, right? The journey which you're going to take ahead in entrepreneurship, it's difficult, right? It's, we see like the rich, like, the big cars, the big houses and stuff, but 99% of the people won't get till there, right?
Right.
Reality. But the mindset is of belief, right? That you believe that you can achieve it. What you think can be done. Because in this journey, it's like a roller coaster. Like every day is like different. Okay, like it's gonna be like so many ups, so many downs, right? And like if you lose your belief at one point, like everything will fall apart because you won't be able to like function the next day.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, if there is no willpower, then you are nothing in front of anything. That's what I believe till date.
That's exactly same here, right? And most entrepreneurs, right? Like we have come across a lot of entrepreneurs in the last 2 years, and we've met so many of them, right? So they want like a few characteristics. If I have to break them down, which give them that mindset, would be like they have a very high risk taking capacity, right? They live in the moment and they dive into action. Okay.
Yeah.
They're firm believers of that, and they love challenges. And no matter what the situation, they have like an optimistic approach to it.
Awesome.
Yeah. To break it down.
Awesome. So as you said that there are people who have who wants to start something, but they have not reached to that level. So I've seen a lot of people learn how to become entrepreneur, build habits, and learn some business hacks and all that stuff. But when it comes to reality, they are really afraid to start, and they doubt themselves whether they will succeed or not. So keeping all these minds, what are all these important characteristics for an aspiring or maybe a new entrepreneur should keep in mind?
So the first thing, is like everybody gets an idea, right? And everybody at one point of their life has had $1 million idea.
Yeah.
But no, like because of that same thought that oh my God, I'm scared, right? They didn't execute it, and you would have seen like on a billboard or like some taxi passing by, like, oh my God, that's my idea, like the advertisement.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like because fear stops them to do that. So first approach would be you are a sum of the average of 5 people that you surround yourself with. Okay, so change your company. Okay. So like if you think that I'm the best in the room, okay, then you're in the wrong company. Because that will never help you to learn.
That's true.
So so that would help a lot. And one thing I believe that fear comes from is a lack of you're scared, like you are not confident enough, right? Like because the fear is there in you, right?
Yeah.
the only thing stopping you is you. Right?
Exactly. That I completely agree to this point. If you, I mean, exactly. If you don't have that mindset of starting it right now, then I always tell this line in all my podcasts. If you don't do it today, then you will not be able to tomorrow. Just start with whatever you have. That this is like a very common point I used to talk in my all my podcast.
Yeah. Right. And one more thing is like, since you brought it up, like they're scared or they don't know what exactly to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a simple way, if I have to break down their journey, right? Every entrepreneur's journey is of cycles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the first thing they can start off with, even though they have ideas, note them down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like note your ideas down, make a journal or make a book, okay, or a post-it for that matter if you're very lazy, right? Note your ideas down, right? And you start creating your cycles. So the first thing you would do is upskill in that idea. Okay. Let's say like, I want to do something of like clothing line, right? I would like upskill myself of fabric knowledge or the yarn knowledge and like all
the
stuff
basic,
like that.
The basic things, whatever you need to, scale yourself up. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. And the next thing, what you would do is find an internship in that sector.
Okay.
So this internship will help you learn too many things. Okay. Even though if it's free of cost, if it's like, paid, unpaid, doesn't matter. Right. So you will learn the things. Okay. What is expected, right? In this industry, especially.
Yeah. Right.
Once you have that, right, you will start networking alongside. You will meet like-minded.
That's the most important thing in business. Networking. Yeah. You need to definitely network with like-minded people. Only then you will know what is happening, what is not happening, and all those stuff. And networking plays a really a great role in business.
Exactly, right. And once you have this will take you a couple of years, 1.5-2 years, right? You do all of this, get to that stage. And by then, your fear would have reduced to like 90% or wouldn't be there. And
this is where you build step by step, right? That's what you meant, right?
Exactly. If that fear is the thing that's stopping you, it shouldn't. Okay. And if you still think no, like, oh my God, it's easier said than done, like, okay, and all that. So these are the steps that you can actually like start your journey.
Okay.
And one more thing would be like, just to add on to that, would be like document everything. Whatever you do, right? Document it. Because then you can see that, okay, like, day one I started with nothing.
I've increased. Maybe you could check your progress on how exactly you've been. Like the day one I started this way. Day two I've increased maybe a 20% or maybe a 30%. Maybe third month I have increased this much. Yeah, this is a very very insightful one. Nishchal. I mean, amazing, man. Amazing. You do have a lot of points to tell today.
Like, I'm not trying to sound too preachy. Okay, I'm just like, trying to keep it as simple and actionable as possible.
Cool. That's good. Awesome. So my next question is to you is like, do you think a creative mindset is essential for an entrepreneur out here? Is it really important?
So see, like creative mindset is like not the only mindset to like start your entrepreneurial journey or like start something by yourself, right?
Okay.
So we do a lot of research, okay, and the only fact that I know all of these things is because I've spent like last couple of years seeing and researching on these things, right? So technically there are like 6 to 8 major categories of mindset. Okay. The biggest thing is innovation. Okay. If you see something around you and you're like, no, I can like make it like better, I can be innovative. That's one mindset which can take you a long way, right? Something what we see is a hustler mindset. Okay, that guy would have no experience, would have like nothing. Okay, but wants to do something and you would hustle, like just whatever opportunity comes, grab it and go, right?
Yeah.
The third thing is the imitator mindset. Okay. We see this a lot happening in our country. Okay. Where a very recent example I would give you is like Jio Meets and Zoom.
Right? Nice example you brought out here.
Okay. So I mean, you can also have an imitator mindset. Like we've seen like to be honest, like Facebook was an imitation copy. Like it was an imitation platform.
Oh my God.
Right? So
I agree to that. Yeah, that's right.
Right. And some people have a researcher mindset. They will not start anything until they do like research papers they write on it, and they do tons of research. Okay.
That's kind of a homework they should do before starting out their business, maybe.
True, 100%. But like these people, like they go in depth, like too much in depth, right? And they're like lost in that, like okay, no, like until we do this research, we will not take the next step, right?
Okay.
And
awesome.
something, and the last one would be like solo achievers, like a solo mindset. Yeah, like I will do everything by myself. Okay, like a great example would be like Neil Patel.
Yeah, man, this guy is like crazy. Actually, he's my guru. I've learned a lot of things from Neil Patel, and he's grown like enormously. Like his growth has been terrible. It's like a next level thing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, exactly, right. So those are the kinds of, you can have any mindset, right? As long as you believe. Again, it comes down to that thing.
Cool. Awesome. So when you're starting a business, you hope that your business is going to be a wild success, right? So it's true, but there are few businesses like which goes like crazy, and they end up like doing a lot of great things. The success is wonderful, but failure is where growth and change can happen. What is your thought on this?
100%. Like I can't disagree to that at all, right? So, I have a simple logic, okay? The faster you grow, okay, that fast you will come down. Okay. So if you see any app, anybody who's made it big, okay, if you analyze their journey, giving an example of LinkedIn, okay, in 2005, they had 500,000 followers.
Yeah.
I mean, like users. Okay,
yeah.
that's in 2005.
Okay. It's 2020.
Exactly. It took 15 years to reach 600 million users. Right?
That's a very big number what LinkedIn has achieved.
But like it took them like 15 years to reach that journey, right? More than 15 years, and it's still like one of the most organic networks there is today. Right?
When compared to Facebook and Instagram, I see LinkedIn has gained a lot of organic traffic nowadays, and people have been using it like a way, in a proper way, and getting their clients and all those stuff, works done, professionalism, everything is happening in LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is going crazy nowadays.
Exactly, right? So like it took them so many years to grow, and they will like succeed. And then when it falls down, it will be like a slow fall off.
Yeah.
Right. But if you like Facebook, right, in 5 or 6 years it went like crazy, and now it's like in a baseline, not going up or not going down. I would say like it's according to me, because like none of my traffic is there, none of my target audience is there anymore, right? So so failure has to happen, right? It's inevitable. And so I will give you an example of my old company.
Okay.
Like our company called First Main. Okay. And we initially started off as a digital marketing firm.
Okay.
But then we were doing so much more than just digital marketing, where we were helping clients literally set up their whole businesses. Okay.
Wow. That's amazing, man.
Right. And as of today, like we are there. Like we are doing so many different things, okay, which we had planned like 2 years back.
Okay.
We are like teaching entrepreneurship at this moment at various institutions. Okay. So I mean, like we failed so many times, okay, and we like piloted and like did a lot of things, and we kept failing, but like we always learned from it, and now we have reached that okay, like we can do this.
You have learned from your mistakes. That's maybe I could put it that way.
Yeah, most simplest form to put it. Right. And if you see a journey, right, if I have to break it down, let's say like take any example like Amazon, okay, like back in 1990s he had an idea, right? So we call that as a white light experience.
Okay.
Where like you get an idea and you're like, yeah, this is it.
This is a very new term I've heard, Nischal, to be very honest.
So it's called a white light experience. Okay. Then what happens is that you get to work. In this working phase, you're like doing your research, you're like like you're creating your company as like from an ideation stage of shifting to the company formation stage.
Okay.
And what will happen is when you get to work, you will scale up, right?
Yeah.
You get to work is long. It lasts long, right? And then there will be a failure. Okay, this might be a first failure, or maybe it be a big failure. Okay, and this is when the human mind will start to question everything.
Okay.
Okay? This is not just entrepreneurship, like generally also in any career point of view.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
And you question everything, like why am I even doing this? Should I just quit it? Should I just shut down? Whatever, right? So many questions. And so there are two scenarios, like you can branch it out. Okay. So you can accept the failure and let go of whatever you worked for and created, or you can pivot and plan things and reconstruct it, right? And the people who like do this side, like pivot, take this route, are the ones who come back again.
I completely agree to that. People see, whenever a failure happens, as you said, there are two kinds of people. Once he fails, he feels that, oh my god, this is not my cup of tea. Maybe I should go on to something else, or maybe I need to change my domain and all that. People think that way, but the people which you mentioned, they are the real entrepreneurs in life. They don't give up. You should not from my experience, I've seen a lot of people fail. But there are only few people who came out of that phase and they have built their business today, and they're doing a good job right now. And the ones who left without changing that up, they're still in the same place. They're not grown in any way because their mindset isn't that way.
Exactly. To be very honest, like the amount of times we have been in that situation, right? Like, oh my god, like what are we doing? Like, why are we even doing this, right? 1 year back, 1.5 years back, right? Where we would like question everything, like, oh my god, what's happening? Why is this happening to us?
Exactly.
Right? But we were like, we want to build something which will change a lot of things for the upcoming people in the space of entrepreneurship, right? And that's what kept us going, like that belief in that.
Awesome, man. This is a really good insight which I got, and the audience has also been getting it from you. Really amazing, man. The pointers which you are giving out is gonna really help the people who are listening to this podcast. So Nishal, let me ask you this, as you being an entrepreneur, which is that one thing which keeps you and your team motivated all the time?
Okay, so we have a common vision, okay? So for us, it's we want to build a platform for early stage startups and budding entrepreneurs in the country. Okay, that is the goal, that is the vision, right? And the dream is that if a person from a village, if we can, empower him to the point where he's starting his own company, right?
That's gonna be huge. That's gonna be really huge.
That's what we're working for.
Awesome, man.
Right? So today we are doing it in Tier 1 cities. Okay, we're piloting all our models, everything in Tier 1 cities, right?
Okay.
And we all believe in it, that we can make this happen. Okay, and like once this succeeds, we are going to go down and make sure that if we can bring that one person from there to here, right? That
then you have achieved your goal, and then maybe if this is going to be a success for you, I'm sure you will be able to bring in more people like this, and they could do a great job in their life.
Today we're doing it at like college and school level, right? But like it has to go way beyond that, but this is a start.
But see, as far as my concern is, like, I don't think nowadays in college they're teaching all this entrepreneurship, marketing, business and all that. They're not teaching in colleges or maybe school. The motive for me to start this podcast was especially this. I wanted to educate young people who literally want to do something on their own. That is the reason I started this podcast. I wanted to bring in people like you to come and educate the people and make them understand what is the importance of marketing and business, entrepreneurship and all those stuff in their life. Because like nowadays, people are even at 17, 18, they're trying to build their own business, but they don't have the right they don't know the right process to do it. Because in my previous podcast I had Sohail. He's just 19 years old and he started his new digital marketing agency. But I was surprised to see people at his age to bring in doing all this stuff. When I was 19 years, I literally didn't know any stuff about this. So I feel good about our current generation, and even you started your entrepreneurship life in your 19s. I guess you started your entrepreneur journey in 19, right?
Yeah, like
so. Awesome, man. Like you guys are like rocking the rocking it, man. You guys are rocking it.
So that's about it. So I mean, coming back to your question, right? So you won't believe it, like the difference between the theoretical side and the practical side, especially in entrepreneurship, right? Because this field is so diverse and like, you know, changes so fast, right?
Yeah, right.
So in college, I studied entrepreneurship. Okay, I had it as a subject.
Oh, great.
And I had a chapter which said how to shake an investor's hand.
Oh, wow.
And in reality, I don't even know if the investor is going to shake my hand. So that's the kind of like, you know, the what do you call it, the difference there is, like, you know. So yeah, that I like, you know, really feel you're doing a really good job by, you know, doing your bit and trying to, like, you know, teach people in whatever way you can.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. So
we're doing the same thing, but on a little larger level. That's it.
Cool. Awesome. So my final question to you. This is how I end my this is how I end my podcast. So what is that one advice you would like to give to our audience who's listening to this episode?
So more than advice, I would like to give like actionable points. Like I said, I don't want to make it preachy and like, you know, stuff. Like not here to give too much gyan and all, right? But what you can actually do, right? So the first step is, so I'm a very firm believer of discipline. Okay, especially you may have a lavish lifestyle, whatever, right? But when it comes to this field, right, discipline is one of the key aspects.
That's a real. Right? I mean, it's a really important point to be noted.
Yeah. So I mean, like personally, like, you know, I have a chart. Okay, like from the time I, like, you know, what I've done today, and what is the output level, and how can I increase the output level next month, next week, whatever it may be. Right. So I mean, that's a personal thing, but like discipline is required. But
that's like a really important one. You should definitely have time segregated for each and everything you do. Only then you will be able to work according to that.
Exactly. Absolutely. Right. And the second thing is have a vision. Okay, a lot of us, right, you know, when we're 19, 20, we're lost. Like,
exactly.
You know, we don't have a life goal, I would say. Okay, it may sound like the most ridiculous thing that I want to be Ambani, but it's something to start. Okay.
Yeah.
Like better than, like, you know, not having anything.
Right. True.
So I mean, so a simple task would be to create your vision board. Okay, on this vision board, you would have like career goals, personal goals, and like, you know, if you're already in business, and then like revenue goals. Okay, and the more you see that, right, the more it becomes achievable. Like, I don't know if it sounds weird or whatever.
You know, I mean, I completely agree to whatever you said right now. It's a very important. If there is no goal, then there is no point in working. You will not know what you're working for, and what. See, I have a goal in my life, and that's why I'm doing all this. I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm doing a podcast regularly. These are. I mean, I have a particular goal to achieve in life, and yeah, if you don't have a goal, then there is literally no use of. I mean, there's a question mark. Like, why am I doing all these things?
Exactly.
Without a goal, you wouldn't know why you're doing all these things, right?
I mean, it connects to your podcast name, Manifest.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So the more you see it, the more it is in front of you, it will happen.
Yeah, exactly. Right? That's right.
Some time,
you got the point.
Right?
Awesome.
The third thing I would like to say is like ideate. Okay. Note down ideas. It may be like the stupidest ideas, like I want 3D printed food. Okay, it may sound stupid to you at this moment. Okay, but keep a track of your ideas. Okay, it's really helpful.
True.
Okay. And if you're serious about this space, like I said, it's not for everybody. Like everybody may not be able to take the risk, or may not have that optimistic approach towards it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. So if you are going in it, right, so you have to take that leap of faith and have that belief that it's going to happen. Right. And this is the process of creation.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Yeah, in this process, you're going to be creating something. Okay. And there is a lot of like, I mean, you can keep upskilling yourself. There's so many frameworks you can follow and stuff like that. Right. So this is like from an ideation stage, you're moving to creating something bigger than you.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where like your vision comes into place and a lot of things like that.
Everything lines up when you do all these things, and then exactly. You are good to go.
and the next step would be to operate. Okay. So when I say operate, so we all can create a lot of things, okay, but can we sustain it or can we execute that? That's the question. So your operate point of view also has to be like thought of, and it has to be very clear. And okay, like coming to startup point of view, so we follow a lean startup model.
Okay.
So that basically means that we wouldn't employ unnecessary resources, right? Whatever work can be outsourced or whatever work can be delegated to somebody else, we would do that, which would save us time and cost, right? So it's an operating procedure. So stuff like that comes under operate, right? So you have ideated something, you've created something, and you're operating it, right? And the last thing, obviously, this operation is not going to be the same every time. You got to pivot.
Right. Very, very important.
Right. So I mean, that's to sum it up. If I have to just repeat the points, okay, it would be have a vision, okay, like keep a life goal, have a vision, right? Document your thoughts, document your ideas, right? Surround yourself with right people, right? People who you look up to. It may, whatever it may be. Right. And think of ideas. Keep thinking. It's okay, right? Do your internships, do your whatever to get to that point where you have confidence to go, right? Then create. So the creation procedure is very important. The process. So create something which is bigger than you, which is going to help a lot of people and going to create an impact.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Sustain that and keep pivoting and keep making sure that you're not scared of failures.
Awesome, man. This was really an insightful podcast I've ever done, because this actually pulled out. I mean, you actually gave in a lot of very powerful insights, and I would say, because even myself, I have learned a few new good things to be implemented in my own personal branding and all that stuff as well. But yeah, as you said, failure is inevitable, but your reaction to your failure is what you make out of it, right? Above all, entrepreneurial mindset is about being committed to your vision, regardless of the challenges and the obstacles along the way. It's about seeing mistakes as an opportunity for growth and not as something to be feared of. It's about approaching your problems from a range of different ways. With that being said, thank you so much, Nischal, for coming onto this show. It was a great pleasure for having you here.
Having me, I was damn nervous before this.
Everybody is, man. If you don't, again, I'm telling this point. If you don't do it today, then you will not be able to do it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So I hope listeners can learn something today.
Yeah, exactly. I hope. I'm damn sure they would have got some really good insight from this. And thank you each one of you for listening to this podcast till here. I really hope you have got some really good insights on entrepreneurship. I will be coming back with another interesting episode next week. Until then, stay safe and stay tuned. This is Emil Eji signing off. Peace out.